What is going on, YouTube? AJ here, doing another Let's Play. Final Fantasy 11 Online Retail. Bahamut server. Okay, stop it, mouse. And we did do our half-hour episode during lunch, which got cut short. Yeah, long day at work. Got off at 8:30, so I worked from 8 to 8:30. Half-hour lunch that I completed COP on. Almost completed COP. Still have some cutscenes. Okay, I think we're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna. I don't know what all this stuff is. I gotta look it up again. Oh, moldy buckler. I don't know. What are we gonna do? I think we're gonna do a little bit of leveling on Rune, and then maybe something else. Who knows? Where are we gonna go? Where are we going to go? Okay, so inlet. Is it a home point? No, it's a survival guide. Where was it again? There we go. There we go. Let's... Oh man, I forgot. I still don't have that, blue mage spell for the knoll. Yeah. And I've almost forgotten how to play Rune Fencer. It's been a long time. A couple of weeks. Let's see if we can get to what, like 85, 86? Oh, yeah, 86 or 87 maybe. In an hour. Oh, the joys of wood floor. Sounds like the puppy upstairs is chasing a bone around. Oh, yeah, we live in an old house. Old house. I think the house was built in the 1950s. And I don't think the floors are from the 50s. They're probably from the 70s, though. They're old. Old floors. Which reminds me, I wanted to, like, since we're just going to be leveling, was thinking about like some topics. I was thinking about some topics today. I was outside. Sometimes I have to walk away from work. And I just go outside and, you know, sit down and look at the sky. Contemplate my life. It'd be so much easier if I didn't have, like, a family. Not that I don't love my family. But when you have responsibilities, I mean, like, if I didn't have any responsibilities, I would have told people to shove this job up there. Even though I probably wouldn't, because it's pretty good money. So I like my house. I like my house. I don't love my house. Alright, so let's... What are we going to do here? Which one was Lightning Sulper? And my mortgage is like double what it was. Probably more than double now I'm thinking about it. More than double what it was at the condo. But as I've said before, I'll even go into greater detail about what was kind of wrong with the condo. So I bought the condo in foreclosure. What happened was I was working for what might be, you know... I was working for what might be like one of the biggest companies in the world. And I wasn't making great money. I was making good money. But I had commission and unlimited overtime, which I needed. So I was just stacking money up. And I didn't like... It wasn't like anything like... I'm not a flashy person. I'm not a... Oh, I need to buy this, you know, $70 pair of jeans and $200 pair of sneakers, or I'm not a flashy. And I was thinking, like, when we were talking about socks, if you watched the last episode, if I ever came into money, whether, you know, I get a great job or I win the lottery or I figure out how to do this, whatever this is, I still would be, like, if I had, like, good money, I would still go to Amazon and search for the best price of socks. I'd be like, oh. And by the way, the socks I bought weren't, like, Chinese knockoff brand. Maybe they are, I don't know. But they're Saucony brand. I think that's how you pronounce it. The sneaker company that's got that, like, kind of 3-dot wavy emblem. So yeah, no, they're not. They look like they're good quality too. And I mean, $10 for 6 pairs is very reasonable. Like I said, $35 for 4 pairs is just like, whoa. I would never do that. So anyway, I'm working this job a long time ago. 10, 12, 13 years ago. And I don't know what to do. I'm like, at the time I was living in an apartment, a small 1-bedroom apartment. And that apartment was priced the way it should have been priced, I say. It was, I think, $400. $400 a month. And, so So I'm just stacking money. I'm just stacking it. And I talked to a friend. I've always had friends that were older, whether it be, you know, a couple years, like 3 to 5 years older, up until like even in my 20s, I was friends with people that were in their 40s. Never felt like I had too much in common with people my own age. And they were like, why don't you invest in property, buy a house, buy a condo? So, yeah, I went and I found the condo, and me being cheap, there was a condo that was, you know, an okay price. I think it was like 80 grand at the time. These condos now are double that, the same ones I was looking at. It was like 80 grand, and it was like perfect. It was beautiful, it was clean, it was everything. But then I saw a foreclosure condo that needed so much work, like so much work, like everything. Like I remember I bought the thing in June, and AC didn't work. The carpet, it looked like they had like some sort of animals that they just allowed to, you know, defecate and urinate on the floors. So it was like I was working on it while I was still living in my apartment, and it was just like so hot, and it was just such stink. And all the neighbors were very, very happy when they saw me like moving in and working on it, because they were like, "Thank God you're here and not the last person." Like it looked like I think I've said it before, on the living room wall, it looked like the guy had like a dirt bike, and he just took the dirt bike and kind of ran it against the wall. It had dirt bike tire treads all along the one long wall of the living room. Just insane. But so I took that on. I think I bought that for like $59,000 at the time, and I put a good deal of money into it, and then I had to buy all new furniture and all that crap. But my mortgage was nothing. My mortgage was, I think, like $595 a month. So I moved from a one-bedroom. Oh, and that one-bedroom apartment that and it was a good time that I got out, because it went from I lived there for 4 years, and my rent went from $400 a month to, like, they were trying to charge me like $795. And it was just a shitty one-bedroom apartment that, like they weren't, like, I could see if they were like, oh, we're updating your kitchen. Oh, you get 3 now. Look at that. But it was just, oh, we're just going to raise your rent. And it was like, I could see like, you know, $30, you know, like, oh, yeah, $50 maybe a year. But no, they were like going like $200 a year in their raising of their rent. So I was happy to get out of there. When I moved into that condo, and the condo was... It was flanked. It was in a very weird area. Like walking distance. Walking distance to the north was one of the richest cities in, like, the county. Like little McMansion houses. Like everything was, like, a cheap house was like $500,000. Walk north 10 minutes, get that. Walk south 10 minutes, and it wasn't an area that you would like to walk in alone. And I was, you know, like, and this condo was like kind of just like right in between, and it leaned into a nice area. It was a very nice area. And over the 10 years that I lived there, it just, you know, instead of, you know, the northern element coming kind of down and making the area nicer, it felt like the southern area was moving, creeping up, and it was starting to get really bad. Incidents that I witnessed at my condo. Now, granted, when I moved in, the day I moved in, the night I moved in, I guess it wasn't always great because there was the oddest experience. So the night I moved in, I'm like kind of freaking out a little bit because this is a foreclosure. The bank told somebody, hey, this is your home and we're kicking you out. So I didn't know if, like, the person was going to be angry at the new homeowner. They're profiting, they're gaining off of me losing my home. So I had my dog, but my dog at the time wasn't a big dog. It was a border collie mutt. But that dog was vicious. It was vicious. Not to me, but like a good guard dog. So I was setting up actually some kind of Home Alone traps in this condo. The first night that I slept in there, and like a paint can kind of propped on the front door. Somebody tried to get in there. Paint can will fall on their head, make a loud noise, wake me the dog up. So the first night, it's a Saturday night, and the dog starts barking. I'm like, oh shit. It's like 2:30, 3 in the morning. And I look out my window, and I just see a guy. The condo was more of like a townhome / row house, if you know what that means. If you don't know what that means, you know, sometimes condos are like apartments where they're just kind of big apartments that are in a solid building, like everybody's in a building. These were, like I said, more like maybe what you would call a row home, where it was 3 to 4 kind of, I'd say that maybe 12 feet wide and 30 yards deep. So there'd be 4 of them, and 4 of them would be a really big house, and there was just 4 front doors. I'm probably describing that pretty poorly. So anyway, outside of it's between mine and my neighbor, a car is parked blocking our cars in, and I'm like, oh boy, here it comes. And I see this guy, young guy, just kind of pacing. And he goes into his trunk and he pulls out a crossbow. And I'm like, what in the F is going on here? And I'm like, I don't know if... And he looked like he was intoxicated. So I'm like, I don't know if it's a good idea for me to go outside and confront somebody with a crossbow. So I'm kind of just watching out the window. And yeah, he pulls up and he aims the crossbow at my neighbor's bedroom window. And he shoots it, gets in his car, drives away. I didn't call the cops, but I let my neighbor know. I was like, I saw this guy, here's his car. It turns out my 2 neighbors were 2 gay men in their 20s or 30s. And the guy said it was one of his exes, and he was probably drunk. I was like, okay, cool. Have fun with that. And then everything was kind of normal. Like I said, I think I've said it before. Like, I think, like, my neighbors thought I was, like, kind of, like, the bad seed of the neighborhood. Like, oh, look out for him. Because I've always been a night person. So it wouldn't be, you know, like, odd that, you know, me coming and going at, you know, 3 in the morning. Everybody else is, you know, in bed by 11. I'm up all hours of the night. Playing guitar at the time. I might take my guitar outside and play at, like, midnight on a Saturday. That was lame. I think we're going to have to recall some trusts here after this. So, yeah, it wasn't a... Ooh, this might actually get ugly. Maybe, like, I don't even know. Jeez. Seven years went by when there was just nothing, then, like, nothing happened. It was just nothing really happened. Alright, I could probably release him and that thing will not aggro anything, right? I was going to release him anyway. Yeah, nothing really happens. Then, right across the street from me. Right across. Like, basically 15 feet away from my front door. I think it was around the time. I think I was unemployed at the time. It was one of the times I was laid off. My dog starts barking again. I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on here? I look outside and there are police everywhere. Everywhere. And I'm like, oh boy. What is this about? Because now I'm, like, also kind of trapped in my house. I think I had the windows. It was like summertime. I had the spring or summertime. I had my windows open. I could hear one of my neighbors try to go outside, and they were like, "Get back in your house." I wasn't gonna be like, "Oh, I could come out then." That doesn't apply to me. That one, what turned out had to happen was it was a single mom with a teenage daughter. And I guess an ex-boyfriend of the mom. She had broken up with him. I didn't know these people. They were kind of rude, so I never really talked to them. Very, very rude, actually. Like, I don't think anybody, like, you know, like, I was always kind of outside, because I'm walking my dog a lot. So, you know, like, you say hi to people. Like, I never really liked to, you know, I never partied with anybody of my neighbors. Maybe one or two. But, definitely not them. I wouldn't even say hi to them because they were, like I said, pretty rude. Well, it turns out, like, one of the mom's ex-boyfriend came over and was, like, with a gun and tied them up. I don't know if he was going to kidnap them or murder them. But the teenage daughter, somehow, he's got her arms tied around her back. She gets her phone and she texts, like, 911 to one of her friends, who then, like, calls 911. And now dude's surrounded. He's surrounded. There's zero way out. And dude ends up just shooting himself in the face in the kitchen. And yeah, like, now we're just watching. Like, everybody, like, the cops are kind of filing out. You know, you kind of expected what was, I think one of the oddest things was, you see in, like, TV shows, like, maybe like a hearse or an ambulance comes and takes the body away. This was like a Ford Aerostar minivan. The guy just kind of had a body bag and threw it in the back of his Aerostar. I was like, what the hell is going on here? This is insane. And you know what? They lived. What I think one of the weirder things for me is that they ended up living in that condo still for another 2 years, like at least. And I don't know. That's one of those things where, and you know, maybe you can't afford to move, and maybe that was the reason you stay. And if that's it, that's sad. Because I couldn't imagine. I mean, like the cops don't clean that up. You know, like I think they had to hire like a hazmat cleaning crew. But even still, just the idea of like in the kitchen, you know, like here's where we're gonna eat our, like, because the kitchens in the condo were a kitchen, and then it had space for a dining room table, and you would just eat in your kitchen. I couldn't imagine eating breakfast. And that's where old Pete offed himself after he tried to kidnap and murder us. So that was like kind of the start of the, okay, what's happening here? Then there was, I was coming home. I was bartending this time. I bartended like full time for the last 4 years of living in that condo. And it's like 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, and I'm coming home, and there's just cops they're all in front of my condo, and I'm like, what the what, was somebody breaking my condo? Is my dog okay? Blah blah blah. And so like they're blocking like my parking spot, so I'm like, okay, I'll park down the road. And I come walking up to my condo, and I was trying to be as loud as I could, but apparently I startled the cops. One of the cops like pulled his gun. Who are you? Where are you going? I'm like, I'll answer your questions. You don't have to pull your gun on me, buddy. And yet, apparently, another totally different neighbor, an ex-boyfriend came and just beat the crap out of this poor girl. Like 2 houses down from me. I was like, okay, all right. She had just moved in, I think maybe like 2 or 3 months, so I didn't even know her. You know, I knew nothing about her or her family. She had a teenage son. I don't think he was home. That's got to be tough if you are a teenage son and you're home and you hear your mom getting like she was like neck brace beat up. I'm like, okay, this is starting to get, what's going on in this neighborhood. And then, maybe a year after that, and I later found out, and it's really nice. I thought it was really, really nice. This one guy must have been a wealthy guy. He had bought like maybe 4 or 5 condos in my development area, and he was purposely renting them out to low-income families. Like, he's like, okay, kind of like basically everybody needs a chance in life. It's a nice neighborhood, good schools for your kids. So, like, this is like maybe 20 yards from my front door. This condo was rented out, and again, I'm walking my dog a lot. When I'm not walking my dog, like in the summertime especially, I like to be outside. Nice cool evening, nothing better than that. And we start noticing, like, me and my neighbors, like my neighbors would be outside, I'd be outside, we'd, chat. And we start noticing cars are just going to this specific condo. They're just going to this condo, getting out of their car, going in the house, coming back out in like a minute and a half. And you're like, okay, well, don't have to be, Serpico to find out what's happening here. And it starts getting even worse. Like, they would go there, and then they would like park closer to me, and my condo, which was like I said, 20 yards away. And they would do drugs right in front of my condo, like I'd walk out with my dog, and they'd look at me and kind of nod their head while they're doing drugs, and I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do? You call the cops, they're gonna be like, what do you want us to do, kind of thing. Well, that house ends up getting in the middle of the night. I want to say 2 in the morning. I was still awake at the time. This is probably like maybe 6 months before we had the kid. And you just heard like pop, 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 pop. And I guess, I don't know if it was an angry customer, a rival dealer, whatever. Well, they shot up this condo, but the funniest thing about it was they didn't hit the condo at all. They hit everybody else around. That condo did not get one bullet in it. Every other condo caught bullets. And you heard the pop, 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 but I was like, it was, I think it was summertime too. So I was like, it's probably some idiot with fireworks, or a rap song that's got gunfire in it. Somebody was driving by, something like that. So all of those people, I think there was 3 other condos. Again, there was like a set of 4 condos. The 3 people immediately put their houses on the market. They're like, we're getting the hell out of here, because the cops didn't do anything. Cops asked around. Nobody saw anything. Nobody was outside at that time. I was kind of friendly with the guy that lived behind that condo, and that guy had a bullet go through his bedroom window. It's like, jeez. Wow, 84. I was very generous thinking that we could get to 87. And it's like, Jesus. He's an old retiree, so, I mean, like, it's... Everybody else, I think, like, everybody else had families. The other 3 people had families. And they were like, we're getting the hell out of here, because nobody's doing anything. Condo board's not doing anything. Like, people would go to the condo board, like, in the next condo meeting. Like, I didn't go, but people were saying, what are you going to do about it? And they're like, what do you want us to do about it? We can't do anything. It's like, yeah, get the people out of there. So, everybody moves. There's 3 new families there. And, turns out somebody from the bar I worked at, that we were actually, me and my girlfriend were both very, not good friends with, but better friends than, like just saying hi. You'd go hang out with them. She's like, and this is maybe like 9 months to 10 months after the first shooting. She's like, I just bought the condo and it's very close to you. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, why didn't you ask me? I'm like, why didn't you ask me? And she ended up buying the condo right next door to the drug dealers. Like, right next door. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, why didn't you ask me first? Oh, I wanted it to be a surprise. It's like, you're in for something. I don't think that realtor told you that you're going to be living next to drug dealers. But anyway, a bunch of people move in. She's not moved in yet. Like they're still in the process of getting all the paperwork ironed out. So before she moves in, and we just had our kid. The kid's less than a year old. Maybe a year old. Somewhere in between. Middle of the day, 2 p.m. Beautiful, beautiful day. August? Middle of the day, 2 p.m. like 3 kids get out of their car and just shoot the place up again. Again. They don't hit the condo that's the bullets are meant for. Maybe holding their gun sideways or something, I don't know. But they missed that condo completely. And now, like, everybody around them, all their condos are shot up, and their like, I think 2 cars had windows shot out. And this we tell this woman, that we're friends with, we're like, hey, you might want to check on the condo that you're buying, because I think you have bullet holes in it. And it's like, she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we told you should have probably asked us. I was like, there's I think I said in our whole development, there's one condo I would say not to buy in. That's the one you bought. So yeah, right before she moves in, she's now got to negotiate with the seller to replace a window that was shot out of her condo. Maybe 3 months later, again, cops are like people are talking to the cops. They're like, hey, like, we have Ring camera. I didn't have a Ring camera, so if anybody, if you're the shooter and you're listening to this, I didn't rat on you. I didn't have a ring camera, but I think 2 of my neighbors did. And luckily, it was a really nice day. We were about to take the kid, and he's got one of those plastic cars that you could push the kids in. We used to take him for walks all the time. I think we were discussing doing it that day because it was such a nice day. Yeah, and so the drug dealers, it was a single mom, I'd guess in her 40s, and a teenage son. And I don't know if it was both of them that were drug dealing, or just the kid, or just the mom. But the mom comes out of the house when the cops are there, because everybody's kind of talking to the cops, like everybody is. I'm like, I don't got anything really to tell you. I didn't see nothing. It seems like a lot of people did. And this old woman, this woman of the house that the drug dealing house goes, I wonder if this was the same people that it did last year. I wonder who they're shooting at, or something silly like that. And everybody's just looking at like the whole neighborhood's just looking at her like, who do you think they were shooting at? Who else do you think they're shooting at? Like, it legitimately, if you just took a lawn chair around this time and sat down at, say, anywhere between 7 p.m. and 5 a.m., there's only one house that cars would go up to, drive in, and then leave within 5 minutes. Only one. It was just out in the open. Like, you'd like to think that, like, drug dealers would have better sense than that, but it's not. And then finally it happened again, like a third time, and this is like, I'm telling everybody around me, because it was like the worst time. We bought this house in like the worst time to buy houses. Everything was going for insane prices. This is 2022. I remember we put a bid on a house that we really liked. It was our bid was $25,000 over asking. And we got the word that we didn't win. And I asked my realtor, because my realtor happened to be, we love this house. I asked my realtor, I'm like, can you ask him how much it went for? And they were like, oh, you were beaten out by $75,000. And they paid cash. I'm like, somebody bid $100,000 over asking in cash. So it was the worst time to buy a house, but I overpaid for my house, not a whole lot. But one of the things about my house is that the neighborhood is amazing. I don't think I ever said it in a Final Fantasy video. What's funny is that maybe it's me, like maybe the the bad stuff follows me for some reason. because the neighborhood is so nice here. We have such a nice neighborhood. After at 9 p.m., it's dead silent. You can't hear. You could hear every insect. It's just a really quiet, nice, family-oriented neighborhood. I say that, and maybe I think 3 weeks after we moved here, oh no, it's more like November-ish. My neighbor across the street got his car stolen. He left it running to warm up and went inside for a cup of coffee, and 2 guys just jacked him. But other than that, the neighborhood's amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I guess the question is, and I ended up loving my condo. I ended up doing so much work to it. Ended up getting just doing so much work that it felt like it really did feel like home. So the question, I guess, is, after all this rambling for 40 minutes about the condo is and the area, is, would you rather have a really nice house? I hope I haven't talked about this before. Would you rather have a really nice house in a bad area, or a house you didn't love in a perfect area? I don't know. I guess it really boils down to having the kid and wanting to keep the kid safe. So I'd have to say the safe area. I guess if I was still just me, a bachelor, I would choose the bad area. Really nice house in a bad area, because I could take care of myself. But I just couldn't imagine. I legitimately couldn't imagine, letting my, kid when he's old enough ride his bike around that neighborhood. Oh boy. There's a bunch of other stuff that happened in the neighborhood I'll save for another time. But that wasn't directly. It was kind of just the surrounding area. It was a weird surrounding area. So there was my condo complex. And then there was another condo. So there was 4 condo complexes, and then maybe 3 or 4 apartment complexes, all kind of in this mile circular radius. So it was just a bunch of, kind of nobody really had it was just an apartment. Nobody was claiming stake to oh, this is my home and I want to have it be wonderful. It's oh, I'm renting this. POS, let's burn it to the ground mentality. I don't know. So yeah, I really like my neighborhood. We are on the outskirts, 10 minutes away from where my front door is. It's just farmland, which I'm very happy about. Alright, a couple more and we'll get it. We'll call it a night. Getting late for Cheap Socks AJ here. Good old Flabra. I forgot that this is like... I forgot about the grind of like 80 to 99. It is a grind. Oh, I should be able to... Is it ground strike or... Oh no, I could do a... Can't I do a merit point one? Oh, damn it. I really want my Apuru back. Well, I originally did say 85, so we'll get that. Now, did I have anything for... off topic, moving on to a different topic. So I was thinking, I was like looking at Coursera, and I'm not sure if anybody knows what Coursera is. It's basically a online school that actually has quite a few really reputable businesses and all that kind of like... I don't know if it's run by Google, but Google does like their certificates through them for all kinds of like tech stuff. IBM does some stuff, and you could even get like crazy big name colleges. I think like Harvard has a course on there. And there's either a monthly or an annual fee that you pay for it. And then some courses are free. And other courses you'd have to pay on top of that, on top of your monthly or annual fee. And I like looked into it, and I was gonna do it, and I was like, okay, this sounds like a good job. This sounds like a job I could do. And it was for a data, however you want to say it, analyst. I'm like, okay, let's see, we could do this. And then I read another article like immediately after. Like I was thinking about that maybe a year and a half ago. And then like more recently I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, let's pull the trigger. Then I saw an article, and who knows if the article, there was like 5 jobs that AI will make obsolete for humans because of, an AI can do it better. And it was data analyst was one of them. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. They could probably analyze and get that data analyzed faster than a human could. So maybe it's not a good idea. And who knows? I've been looking at not reviews, but like, hey, can you get a job if you just have like a certificate from this place? And a lot of people are saying no. But who knows? They could just be, you know, people saying no because they don't want people to be happy. It's the internet. That's what people do. But yeah, it's getting that bad at work that I'm like, oh, let me take like night courses. I don't know how I would do night courses, take care of the kid, work 12 hours a day, and do my wonderful YouTube channel. Not enough hours in the day. But yeah, if anybody's ever done a Coursera course, let me know if you enjoyed it, if you think it helped you, if it got you a job, got you a promotion. That'd be interesting to me. Or is it just a waste of time and money? I think I was reading somebody wrote, they took a course that was like a month long, and it was basically like, this is how you open Word. It's like, really? I'm paying for how to open Word? Okay. Well, I think that we're going to call it. That was just about an hour. We had some fun story time. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. We got to what, 85? 85 and a half? Yeah, just about 85 and a half. A little over 85 and a half. Cool, cool, cool. Maybe next time we will finish up our cutscenes for COP. And then maybe move on to Ot or Gone, or maybe Wings of the Goddess. So until next time, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Bye.